41 years and 4 months ago, a small version of me, a little Brad, about this high, he was standing in front of his parents' house on a farm in central Queensland in Australia, a very, very remote place. And it was a special day, not just any day, because it was his first day of primary school. So that's a special moment for any little girl, little boy, and it's also a special moment for their parents as well. And that day was the start of a journey for me, my educational journey. And it's been a remarkable, exceptional journey. And that little boy, Brad, who grew up on a farm where he had to travel 50 kilometres to get to school each day, where a trip to the beach for holidays was 300 kilometres, where a trip to the capital city of just that state, not the capital city of Australia, was 800 kilometres. That Brad couldn't imagine the Brad that you see in front of you now. So let's jump forward 12 years. He got through school and he had to complete the last 2 years at boarding school because there was no secondary school in that town, or upper secondary school. And he went off to university. And that was a really special start of my educational journey because I've never actually left university since I was 18. And you all are probably thinking, he looks pretty young. I know, you don't have to say it, but actually that was 28 years ago. And for 28 years, I've been a student, a researcher, a teacher, and then eventually like a leader, a university leader. I've done all of those things, and I still do all of them as well, for 28 years. And I didn't do it all just here in Luxembourg. Of course, this journey started in Australia, and I've done those roles in universities in 5 different countries, in Australia, France, Germany, the UK, and now here in Luxembourg. So it's a long time, right? And you must think, well, would he keep doing that if it's not amazing and fascinating and thrilling all the time? And the answer is, of course, no. I would have changed by now if I didn't love what I do. I've observed a few things along the way. And today's a really special event. Amazing speakers, incredible audience, and it's really a thrill and a pleasure for me that I can share just three observations from that long academic journey that I've had in universities in these 5 different countries. The first one is, why does anyone even go to university? What is the point of going to university? What does anyone think when they're considering to go to university? And it's actually very straightforward. They usually just think one of 2 things. The first one is they want a job, and they want some kind of professional job where you need some qualification. Maybe they want to be a teacher, a doctor, a lecturer in a university, broadcast journalist, all these wonderful professional jobs. So that's one reason. The other reason, which is just as valid, is that some people go to university because they have a really deep passion for a particular topic or a subject, and they don't know what job they want to do. That's perfectly fine, but they love that subject. And so they go to university to study that subject and learn more about it. And the good news is, it works. If you go to university, any university, and you enroll in a course that you're interested in or will get you that professional qualification, you will learn a lot. You will be very, very well educated. You will become like a little expert in this narrow, specific topic that you signed up for. So that's my first observation. That's why people go to university and what happens to them. The second thing is that something else happens to people at university. Happens to the students, also happens to us, the teachers. And it's not the thing that they thought they were going to get, but they get it anyway. And that is that no one goes to university and studies by themselves. There is no one-to-one model of university education. Everyone is a part of a class. It might be a small class of 30 students. It might be 300. It might be 1,000 students in the first year of your course. And no two of those students have exactly the same background. They don't have the same set of experiences. They don't have the same family background. They don't come from the same culture. They don't have the same background knowledge. They're all different. And we put them all together and we educate them together. And this is where the magic happens. If you think that when you go to university, you just are a student and you learn from the wise professor that stands up the front and teaches, actually that's not true. It's not how it works. You learn a little bit from the professor, from your teachers, but you learn a lot from the other people in your class. You actually learn together. And that's a wonderful thing, because the amazing diversity of our student bodies in all universities is that you are learning together with people from an amazing different set of experiences. And of course you learn the subject that you're there to learn, but you also learn about what was it like for someone to grow up in another country that I know nothing about, that I've never even been able to visit, like Iran. What was it like for someone to have an incredibly different family background, or a linguistic background, or a cultural background? You pick up all of these things just because of your classmates. And here's something amazing. The teachers actually learn from the students as well. If you didn't know that, that's one of the secrets that we don't usually share. But it's also an amazing part of the experience, especially for us. So those are the two things. One, when you go to university, you will get a narrow, specific education on some subject that you signed up for, guaranteed. But two, bonus, you will learn an amazing amount from the people that you are there studying with. So there's a third observation, and this one for sure. Very few people ever think of this when they're selecting what to study or where to study or who to study with. But it's really, really important. And that is, when you go into higher education, when you go to university, you will learn a lot about yourself. It's not in the curriculum. It's not an intended learning outcome. It's not something we assess, but it does happen. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's good for you as an individual. You will learn more about yourself, what you're good at, what challenges you, what motivates you, what excites you, what scares you. So those are the three observations that I've made from my 28 years as a student, researcher, teacher, and leader in universities. So I want to give you a takeaway. I want to give you something that you can remember and take away from this talk tonight. It's like a universal key. So I'm a professor of engineering, but actually this key you can use in any topic, at any university, taught in any language, in any country. And it's the key not to just to success in your studies, but to enormous academic and personal growth. And it goes like this. If you want to really make the most of higher education, you have to intentionally move outside of your comfort zone. Okay? So let me tell you quickly what I mean by that. We all have a comfort zone. For those of you in the front of the room, you can see I'm standing on a red circle right here. If this was my comfort zone, this is a space where I feel very comfortable and very safe. It could be because of the people in the comfort zone. Maybe my family is in here and I feel comfortable and safe and relaxed with them. And when I'm outside, less so. It could be a geographical comfort zone. Maybe in the town where you grew up, or the city where you went to school, or the country where you were born. You feel okay. You feel comfortable. You feel in your groove in that comfort zone. It can even be a linguistic comfort zone. You can go far outside of your linguistic comfort zone and you haven't even moved 1 kilometre. You've chosen to study, to learn, to participate in education in a different language to your mother language or your first language. So why do I tell you to move outside the comfort zone? So I'm going to symbolically move outside my comfort zone. When I'm here, I feel uncomfortable. I'm no longer in my safe, comfortable space. But it also means when I'm outside of that comfort zone, I am in the maximal state to learn new things. I am in the maximal possible state to make new connections. I'm in the maximal possible state to absorb new things from new people, from new experiences. Because when you're here in your comfort zone, you're shielded from all those things. It's a comfortable shield. It's your friends, it's your family, it's your home language, it's your home country, it's your hometown. But it's actually kind of blocking you from amazing experiences that you would never have known about if you never moved outside your comfort zone. So professionally, me making that decision as a young student actually to really do some bold things and move outside my comfort zone has led to me having an incredible professional career. And I want to share one little highlight of my professional career. So one part of my job is to be a researcher. And actually one of my research students is here in the audience tonight, which is a wonderful thing. So some of you may be researchers or you've done research before, so you may know what I'm talking about, but I want to tell you what it means to do research at the cutting edge of human knowledge. So imagine for a moment there's a sphere, and this sphere contains all of the knowledge of humanity. Everything we've discovered, everything we've worked out, everything we've invented, it's all a sphere, okay? Researchers know a lot about one tiny bit on the surface of that sphere, okay? One little element, and they're right at the cutting edge. And sometimes, not every day, but sometimes we make a breakthrough. We discover something new. In our lab, we actually make new materials all the time. Probably every week we make a new material that doesn't exist anywhere on the earth. We're the first ones to make it. And then we have specialized instruments and we characterize it. We see the results that prove this is a new material that's never existed before. So to go back to the sphere, being the researcher that makes that breakthrough, you're like standing on the surface of that sphere and you're looking out into space. And for that moment, you're the only person on this earth, and not just today, in the entire history of humanity, you're the only person that knows that one thing. It's a wonderful feeling, and it's something we get to do as researchers all the time. So I'm very, very grateful for that. The other great thing that's come to me from moving outside my comfort zone is a lot of other experiences, a lot of things that 5-year-old Brad would never, ever have been able to conceive of. And I'm going to quickly whip you around the world once to share just a sample of them with you. I've been backpacking through North America, traveling on Greyhound buses, which is a wild experience for anyone that's done it. I've drunk cachaça and danced in Brazil. I've been swimming on the beaches in Hawaii. I've been backpacking through New Zealand. I've traveled all over Australia. I've climbed along the Great Wall of China. I've watched the sunrise over the Taj Mahal in India. I've swum in the Red Sea, both from Egypt and from Saudi Arabia. I've ridden on camels in Morocco. I've been to the townships of South Africa and seen the house where Nelson Mandela lived in Soweto. I've travelled all over Europe. All of these things were possible for me because I moved outside my comfort zone. They were not glamour travel. A lot of them were really wild experiences, but I'm so glad I did them. So let me wrap it up. What is the point of higher education? Why should you think about higher education? Well, there's three great things that you'll get from higher education. You'll get a very, very deep, profound, expert knowledge in the topic that you go to study. And it might give you a professional qualification, or it might just make you really knowledgeable in that field. Both are valid. You will make incredible friends. I still have many, many friends from my student days, and I keep in touch with them even now from all over the world with all kinds of different backgrounds. And this will make you literally a better human being. And the third thing that I have seen over these 28 years in student after student after student is incredible personal growth. You will get to know yourself better than you ever thought possible. And the one take-home message, the one thing that I would urge you to do in higher education or in any aspect of your life is think about where your comfort zone is and consciously move yourself outside the comfort zone, because that is where you have the most potential to have amazing new experiences. Thank you very much.